What's up, garden nerds? Today we're gonna nerd out over three sisters. What does that mean? We're gonna talk about corn, we're gonna talk about peas, and we're gonna talk about squash. It's gonna be awesome. Come on, let's go. Alright guys, so here I am in my in-ground garden bed. You've seen a few videos in here over the winter. I planted a bunch of cauliflower, a bunch of broccoli, and it did awesome. So now it's springtime. It is time to get rid of all the cold season vegetables and start with some warm season vegetables. So today we're going to talk about the Three Sisters. The Three Sisters is an ancient Native American tradition where they plant three things close together that thrive off of each other and complement each other. Those three things are first corn, second peas, and third squash. So what do all of these things have in common, or how do they help each other? So first of all, picture, if you will, nice tall corn, at least 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet tall. That's what you plant first. And then second, you have the peas. The peas need something to grab onto so that they can grow up. The peas grab onto the corn and grow up. And then third, the squash. Squash is more of a ground cover, and the squash covers the ground. So those three things grown together are what the Native Americans have done for centuries, and that's what we call the Three Sisters. And all three things do something different. So as I mentioned, the corn is what provides the stalks for the peas to grow up. The peas is a nitrogen fixer, or in other words, they provide nitrogen into the soil, which is very, very beneficial for any plant, specifically corn. So the peas grow up the corn, and the peas give nitrogen into the ground. And then the squash, because they have large leaves in their ground cover, they cover the ground, they keep the ground moist, because remember, we're planting this in the spring, which will grow into the summer, which in the desert Southwest is extremely hot. And so the squash will keep the ground nice and moist. And it will also keep weeds from growing in the garden as well. So you can see they all three complement each other and allow each other to not only survive, but to thrive. Okay, let's talk about the order and how we're gonna plant all three of these things, because you don't wanna plant them all at the same time, you have to go in order. So the first thing that we're gonna plant is the corn. The best time to plant the corn is anywhere from the beginning of March until April 15th. You don't wanna plant it anywhere past April 15th. It's not gonna have enough time to establish and get ready for the extreme summer heat that we're gonna have. So best time is probably middle of March. Right now we're at the end of March, so perfect timing. And then 2 weeks later, once the corn is 4 inches tall, then that's when you want to come in and you want to plant the beans. And then about a week or two later, once the beans have started to sprout, that's when you come in and you plant the squash. So overall, it's about a month time. Start with the corn, about a month later, you'll be planting the squash, and then from there, it grows. Because you don't want the squash to come in and shade out or squash out the young corn seeds or the young pea seeds. And you want to start the corn first before the peas, so that once the peas get going, they have something to grow up on, which would be the corn. Okay, and now where do we plant each plant in this in-ground garden bed? So there's a number of ways to do it, but off of my research and what I found to be the most effective is you want the corn to be in the center. So the corn will either be here in a circle or in a square, but it's gonna be in the center. We're gonna plant the corn about 2 to 3 inches deep, and we're gonna plant it about 6 inches apart. Remember, corn is wind pollinated, so you want them close together so that they have a very good chance to successfully be pollinated. So about 6 inches apart, very close together, all in a circle or square, so that when the time comes to be pollinated, the wind can do its job. Then, as we know, the next thing that we're gonna plant are the beans. The beans will be the next layer outside of the corn. Beans are self-pollinating. Doesn't really matter how close they are together. They're gonna pollinate, they're gonna be fine. But that is outside. And then after that is when the squash comes in, and you want the squash to be on the very outside. So here I'd probably plant in this corner, in that corner, and that corner. And squash are pollinated by insects, but if you get 1 or 2 squash, you're gonna be just fine. Even with 1 squash plant, you're probably gonna be fine. But you wanna do a couple on the outside, and that's where you want to plant each plant in this three sister setup. All right, so now we're gonna plant the corn. So as I've talked about in some of my other garden videos, you can see the video up here where I first planted this in-ground garden bed. Soil is very, very important. It's the most important thing when you're planting a garden. So I never till my garden soil. In fact, when I cut out a lot of the broccoli and cauliflower, you can see the stalks are still here. I don't pull them out. I just cut them. I let the roots stay in there. I let the roots slowly die and break off into the soil and provide nutrients for the soil. I don't till anything. But what I do is I add new fresh compost every time I start a new spring garden or a new fall garden. So I have from here, Arizona Worm Farm, I have this awesome compost. I'm gonna layer it on top, and then after that, I'm gonna plant the corn seed. So let's do it. All right guys, so now you can see this nice fresh layer of fresh compost, and now we're gonna plant our corn right in here. And with this awesome fresh compost, we should see a really good success rate of germination. All right, so I have my corn here. I got the variety called candy corn. Sounds good. This variety gets about 8 feet tall. Which when you're selecting a corn, make sure you do select one that gets tall, because the whole point is to allow the beans to go up. So I'm gonna plant it. Mine is gonna be kind of a square and circle. I'm gonna plant it right here, just kind of in the middle of this plot, and we'll go from there. Remember, we're planting 1 to 3 inches deep and about 6 inches apart. So let's plant them. All right guys, so that is it. Hopefully in a week or two, I see them start to sprout. And then after that, like we talked about, I'll follow with the beans and I'll follow with the squash. Remember, when you're planting any type of new seeds, they need to stay moist. Especially if it's getting hot like it is here, they need to stay moist. You don't want to flood them. You don't want pooling water that are gonna make the seeds float to the top of the ground, but you do need to keep them moist so that they can germinate and start growing roots and start growing up. So I will keep you up to date on the progress of my 3 sister garden. I've never done it, so I'm super excited, but I will keep you up to date with future videos, and hopefully it works. Go out and plant something now is the perfect time. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe, please like the video, and we'll see you in the next video.